Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something real straight from the heart. Don't chase, level up. Let him regret it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me drop a little truth on you today. You ever been hurt by somebody who swore they had your back? Someone who looked you in the eyes, promised you forever, then walked out like you were nothing? Yeah, I know how that feels. I've been there. I've seen the pain, the confusion, the sleepless nights. But let me tell you something. The best revenge you could ever serve in this life is not screaming, not begging, not even clapping back. It's self-improvement. That's it. You want to hit back? Level up. See, when somebody hurts you, when they choose to leave, doubt you, disrespect you, that is not your cue to fall apart. That is your signal to rise. That is the moment life is telling you, now it's time to show them what they gave up. But you don't do it out of hate. Nah. You do it out of love for yourself, because the moment you stop focusing on them and start focusing on you, everything changes. Your energy shifts. Your vision clears up. You stop surviving and you start living. People always ask me, Steve, how do you deal with betrayal? How do you come back from it? And I say the same thing every time. You go get better. That's it. Not louder, not messier, better. You take every ounce of that pain and you put it into your purpose. You let it fuel your fire. You start waking up earlier, working harder, loving yourself deeper. You hit the gym. You start reading. You speak life over yourself. You clean your space. You protect your peace. And you get to a place where you're no longer trying to show them what they missed. You're just living in a way where they can't help but see it. That's how you win. You don't have to scream to be seen. You don't have to chase to be chosen. You don't need closure to move on. You become so focused on becoming who you were created to be that their name don't even sting anymore. You're too busy building, too busy healing, too busy walking in your calling. See, when you grow for you, when you improve for you, that kind of power, that kind of growth, it makes noise without saying a word. And believe me, they're going to notice. Oh, yeah, they'll scroll past your pictures. They'll hear your name in rooms they didn't expect it to be. They'll watch your blessings stack up like bricks. And deep down, they'll know they messed up. But by the time that regret hits them, you'll be gone, elevated, healed, glowing in a way you never did before. Because here's what I know. God don't waste pain. Every time somebody leaves, every time you're rejected, every time life breaks your heart, it's all working for your good if you let it. If you take that brokenness and turn it into fuel, that's the secret. You don't get bitter, you get better. You don't go low, you go higher. You might cry some nights. That's all right. You might feel like giving up. Don't you dare. You were never meant to stay where they left you. You were meant to rise. You were meant to evolve. You were meant to walk into rooms where they never imagined you belong. And when you get there, not a single word needs to be said. Your life will speak for you. Your presence will speak for you. Your peace, your confidence, your glow. That's the real revenge. So next time somebody breaks your heart, don't lose yourself. Don't chase them. Don't try to prove anything. Just smile, get quiet, lock in, level up. And watch how the universe, how God, how time, it all turns around, not because you begged for it, but because you became undeniable. Self-improvement, that's the only kind of revenge worth having. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that could change the direction of your life if you let it sink in deep. You ain't got to prove your worth to nobody. Nobody. Not a man, not a friend, not a family member, not a single soul walking this earth. If someone can see your value right where you stand, that's their problem, not yours. See, too many of y'all are trying too hard to be seen, to be chosen, to be understood. You bending over backward trying to convince people you deserve love, respect, and commitment. And I'm telling you now, stop. Just stop. That ain't your job. Your job is not to chase validation. It's to live in your value. Know it. Walk in it. Speak like it. Breathe like it. When you know who you are, you don't beg. You don't plead. You don't water yourself down just to make somebody else comfortable. You don't shrink so somebody else can feel big. You stop over-explaining. You stop performing. You stop letting people treat you like a second option while you give them your first priority. You weren't put on this earth to convince anyone to love you. You were put here to be love, to be light. And the right people, the right opportunities, the right love, it'll recognize that light. But first, you got to stop dimming it for folks who never deserved to see it in the first place. And listen, I know it's hard. I know what it feels like to want someone to notice you, to stay, to change, to finally see what you bring to the table. But let me tell you the truth. The moment you realize you are the table, everything shifts. You stop giving people power they never earned. You stop handing out access to your heart like it's free. You stop waiting for someone else's approval to feel like you're enough. Because, baby, you were already enough the day you were born. Your worth ain't based on who stays or who claps for you. It's based on who God made you to be. You want to live free, then let go of the need to be accepted. Let go of the need to be chosen by people who can't even choose themselves. Let go of the pressure to always be perfect, always be pleasing, always be proven. You don't need to prove a thing. Your life, your presence, your peace, that speaks louder than any words ever could. You just keep becoming your best self, not for him, not for them, for you. Put your energy into growth, not approval. Build something, learn something, heal something. Do it because you matter. Do it because your future self is counting on you. And trust me, when you step into that version of you, the one that knows her value, walks in her peace, protects her energy, oh, it's going to be felt. It's going to be seen. You don't even have to try. The right ones will feel it. The wrong ones will fear it. Either way, your glow will speak. You were never meant to be everybody's cup of tea. And that's fine. You're not here to fit into every room. You're here to build your own. And the moment you start proving and start becoming, that's when the magic happens. That's when your life starts shifting. That's when the love you deserve starts showing up, not because you begged for it, but because you became a magnet for everything real by being real with yourself. So stop proving, start becoming, start walking like you know who you are. Speak less, move more. Let your actions be your proof. Let your elevation be your answer. Let your life be the evidence. Because at the end of the day, the only person you ever needed to prove your worth to was you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something I learned the hard way in this life. Real power doesn't make noise. It doesn't chase attention. It doesn't beg to be seen. Real power moves in silence and shows up in success. That's the truth right there. Some of y'all wasting so much energy trying to prove you're doing good, trying to convince somebody you've moved on, trying to let folks know you're still shining. But the moment you start chasing validation, you give your power away. You make their opinion more important than your own peace. See, power ain't in the post. Power ain't in showing up at the same spot just to be seen. Power ain't in telling the world how happy you are. Nah, power is when you quietly grow, when you quietly heal, when you quietly stack your blessings and let the results do the talking. You ain't got to clap back. You ain't got to explain nothing. You just level up in silence, and when the time is right, they'll see it. And trust me, they will see it. Not because you told them, but because your life will be the proof. There's something about silence that scares people, especially the ones who used to see you broken. When you go quiet, when you stop reacting, when you stop arguing and explaining, that's when folks start to wonder. That's when regret starts creeping in, because silence is strength. Silence is focus. Silence means you ain't got time for drama. You're too busy building. You're too busy becoming everything they thought you never would. You don't have to announce your glow up, just glow. Don't say a word, just walk in it. When you chase validation, you become a prisoner to people's opinions. You start living for the likes, for the attention, for their approval. And the moment they take that away, you feel empty. That's why real power is rooted in self. It's when you know who you are, even when nobody's clapping, even when nobody's watching, even when nobody's texting, I miss you. It's when you get up every day and go after your purpose, not because someone is watching, but because it's yours. You're not living for the applause anymore. You're living for the mission. You ever notice the loudest people usually got the least going on? Real winners don't talk about it, they be about it. They're not on the internet explaining their moves. They're in the gym, in the books, in the studio, in the meetings. They're behind the scenes doing the work. And when they show up, they don't need to say much. Their life speaks, their peace speaks, their glow speaks. And you can't fake that. You can fake a smile. You can fake a post, but you can't fake peace. You can't fake growth. You can't fake discipline. I tell people all the time, stop showing off and start showing up. Stop proving and start producing. Let your healing be loud. Let your progress be the noise. Because when you truly elevate, when you truly step into who you were created to be, validation feels small. The opinions feel small. The distractions feel small. You see too clearly to care about being seen. So if you're out here trying to prove something, stop. Take that energy and pour it into becoming something. Take that time and put it into mastering your craft. Take that pain and pour it into your passion. You don't owe them a reaction. You don't owe them a status update. You owe yourself success. You owe yourself freedom. You owe yourself peace. And the real ones, the ones meant to be in your life, they'll see you. They'll feel you, not because you chased them, but because you walk so powerfully in silence, they had no choice but to notice. That's real power. That's real growth. That's how you win. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When you really level up, when you grow into the person you were meant to be, when you stop chasing people and start chasing purpose, oh, they notice. Every single one of them who doubted you, who left you, who said you weren't enough, they all feel it. They feel it in the quiet moments when your name crosses their mind. They feel it when they see you smiling and glowing without them. They feel it when they realize you became everything they couldn't see in you, and deep down, they regret it. Not because you tried to make them, not because you threw it in their face, but because truth don't need to be loud. It just needs to show up. See, people don't always leave because you did something wrong. Sometimes they leave because they couldn't handle your potential. They couldn't handle your strength, your fire, your future. And when you start growing, when you stop looking back, when you stop answering texts that don't deserve your energy, that's when you take your power back. That's when the shift happens. You start walking different. You start thinking different. You start attracting different. And they see it. Even the ones that walked away like you didn't matter, they see it. Let me be real with you. Regret is a quiet storm. It doesn't always come with an apology or a phone call. Sometimes it just sits on their chest while they scroll through your life, wondering how you turned your pain into power, wondering how the same person they walked away from now walks with purpose and peace. That's the thing about leveling up. You don't always need revenge. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to post 1,000 quotes about healing. Just heal, just grow, just glow, and let life handle the rest. You don't do it for them. You don't rise to prove a point. You rise because staying broken is not your story. Staying stuck in the same chapter where they left you is not your destiny. You were built to evolve. You were created to overcome. And when you finally stop looking for closure and start looking for growth, your whole world changes. You start moving different. You start respecting yourself on another level. You stop entertaining half-hearted love and start demanding peace. And the more you grow, the clearer it becomes they were never meant to go with you. People always come back when you no longer need them. That's just how it works. They always reach out when you finally found peace, not because they love you, but because they see you've become everything they lost. And it hits different when the one they walked away from becomes the one they can't stop thinking about. But by that time, you've outgrown their presence. You've outgrown the drama, the confusion, the doubt. You've stepped into a version of yourself that doesn't need fixing. When you level up, your silence becomes louder than their excuses. Your success becomes louder than their absence. Your joy becomes louder than the pain they left behind. And that's when regret shows up, not always in words, but in hesitation, in them watching from a distance, hoping you still care. But the truth is, you've changed. You've matured, you've healed, and now what once broke you doesn't even shake you. So don't waste your energy trying to prove they were wrong. Don't try to make them regret it. Just focus on becoming so whole, so complete, so fulfilled that they wouldn't even recognize the woman they left behind. Let them sit with that. Let them wrestle with what they lost while you keep building what they never had the patience to grow with you. Because when you level up for real, you stop needing closure and stop giving yourself credit. They'll notice, they always do. And when they do, they'll realize the biggest mistake they made was thinking you'd never become exactly who you are now. Not because you told them, not because you chased them, but because you kept growing and they got left behind. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say something that's going to free somebody tonight. Stop explaining your growth to people who couldn't grow with you. Stop trying to make small minds understand a big vision. Stop trying to break down your healing journey to folks who were comfortable with the broken version of you. Everybody ain't meant to understand your path. And guess what? They don't need to. You're not responsible for making them feel comfortable about the person. Some people only knew you when you were in survival mode. They knew the version of you that didn't have boundaries, that said yes to everything and everyone, that tolerated things just to keep the peace. They knew the you that was doubting, that was insecure, that didn't see her worth. But now you're changing, you're walking different, you're speaking different, you're protecting your peace, you're loving yourself. And those same people are confused. They don't get it. And that's okay. That ain't your problem. See, when you start growing, when you start healing, when you start elevating your mindset and raising your standards, some people will take it personal. They'll say you switched up. They'll see you acting different, and you are. You're supposed to. You can't become the woman you were born to be and stay stuck in the same energy that tried to destroy you. Growth requires space. It requires distance, and sometimes it requires letting go of people who were only attached to your struggle, not your strength. And what do? We try to explain ourselves. We try to break it down gently. We try to make people see our heart. But the truth is, if they were meant to grow with you, they'd already understand. You wouldn't have to explain why you don't go to certain places anymore, why you don't answer every call, why you don't entertain the same drama, why you'd rather be at peace than be surrounded by fake company. Real ones will see your growth and clap for you. The rest will question you, doubt you, and try to pull you back into who you used to be. You don't owe nobody a speech for becoming better. You don't need to send out announcements for your elevation. You're not being rude. You're being real. You're not acting brand new. You're finally acting in alignment with your worth. Let them say what they want. Let them make up stories. Let them fall off. The ones who can't handle your growth were never meant to go the full distance with you anyway. They ain't leaving them behind. They just stopped walking. Stop shrinking to be understood. Stop dimming your light so people don't feel insecure. You were not born to play small. You were not put on this earth to keep explaining your light to people who prefer the dark. God is taking you to a new level, and not everyone is meant to come. Some people are chapters. They ain't the whole book. And it's okay to close the page. Protect your energy. Protect your growth. You've come too far to keep going back just to make someone else feel better about standing still. You've cried too many tears, prayed too many prayers, survived too much pain to start explaining yourself to folks who were never clapping when you were down. Let your peace be your proof. Let your glow be your response. Let your life speak for itself. You don't owe them access. You don't owe them comfort. You owe yourself peace. You owe yourself progress. So stand tall in your growth. Walk proud in your healing. And let the ones who get it, get it. The rest, let them watch from a distance. Because where you're headed, not everybody is invited, and that's just how it's supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the loudest response you can give is silence. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is growth. And sometimes the best way to let people know what they lost, what they doubted, what they played with, is to elevate. Not to prove a point, not to give revenge, but because your life, your peace, your progress is the only answer they need. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to explain how they hurt you, how they betrayed you, how they underestimated you. Let your elevation say everything they need to know. Because when you rise, when you walk in purpose, when you heal and step fully into your power, people feel it. Whether they say it out loud or not, trust me, they feel it. The ones who thought you'd fall apart without them, they see you rising. The ones who thought you'd come crawling back, they see you glowing. The ones who never thought you'd make it, they see you thriving. And you didn't have to scream, didn't have to post about it, didn't have to chase validation. You just kept rising. See, when you elevate for real, people start realizing they were part of a story they no longer belong to. They thought they were the main character in your life, but they were just a passing chapter. And now that chapter is closed. You're not bitter. You're not angry. You're just better. And when folks see that you didn't fall, that you didn't break, that you didn't lose yourself, they start to regret, not always because they lost you, but because they didn't believe in what you could become. Let me tell you something real. Growth is louder than any argument. Peace is stronger than any comeback. And success is louder than any words you could ever speak. People will remember how they left you, how they doubted you, how they talked about you. But more than that, they'll remember what you became despite it all. That's what elevation does. It rewrites the narrative. It turns pain into power, setbacks into setups, losses into lessons. And you don't have to defend it, just live it. You don't have to respond to every rumor. You don't have to explain why you're not the same. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them wonder. Meanwhile, you keep working, you keep healing, you keep showing up for yourself, and little by little, your life becomes the response. Your glow becomes the answer. Your peace becomes the proof. And the best part, you never had to lower yourself to their level. You just kept climbing. Everybody doesn't deserve access to the new you. Some people are meant to witness it from a distance. That's their consequence. They don't get to sit at the table they walked away from. They don't get to benefit from the blessings you built in the dark. You stayed up when nobody checked on you. You fought battles in silence. You carried pain and still pushed through. And now that you've made it through the fire, you shine with a different kind of light. A light that doesn't beg to be seen, it just is. So don't waste your time trying to prove anything. Don't go back just to show them you made it. Don't send that message. Don't post that quote. You don't need to tell your side. Time always reveals what words can't. Your elevation will do the talking. And those who couldn't see your value before, now they'll watch you become everything they never believed you could. Keep rising, keep shining, keep building. Not out of spite, not out of revenge, but because that's what you were made to do. You are not here to stay small. You are not here to stay broken. You are here to rise. And as you do, remember, your elevation is enough. It's the only response they'll ever need.